Hey there, and welcome to our first look at update 1.0.8. Let's see what they've changed. If you watched my update teaser video, one of the first things you'll notice when you log in the game is a lack of UI changes, and character banners look exactly the same. What has changed is these starter packs. They used to be a black and white sort of thing, and now they're nice and in your face. I don't know that the colors match the rest of the aesthetic of the game, but yeah. Clicking on one of those will open a screen something like this with the bundle and its price, and you can purchase it from here. If this is the first thing you do when you log into the new update, this can be very confusing. What is the plus 21? Why is it over the icon, like image of the item? It is a little overwhelming and busy, and I don't really like it. I think they could have found a better place to put that number. With the shiny indicator on our shop, we went and took a look, and you can now get free blood gems without watching a video, but watch your videos because they are very important. We of course had a look through all the menus, and most of it looked the same, but there were a few different things. For example, there is now green rarity, which is uncommon gear. All of the gear in the trading post starts at level 1, and I clicked on a sword and you will see it has no bonuses, which was very confusing. Why doesn't it have any bonuses? What is happening here? Did they remove bonuses from gear? The answer is no. But level 1 gear does not have any bonuses unlocked. You have to unlock them through Gear Ascension and leveling up your gear. Finally, this miscellaneous tab also has some other things which don't explain what they are. There's this white orby thing and a green orby thing and a shiny orby thing, and what are they? Who knows? There is no information tab. There's also this willpower. What does it do? Why would I want to spend my blood gems on it? I don't know. While I did figure some things out, and I'll explain them later in the video, it would be really useful to have some information tooltips here. I did check out the merchant with Forest Chick. We bought 10 chalices worth of gear, and this too is at level 1. Rarities of all kinds are included, and they're random, and so are the Ascension levels, which is that plus 6 or plus 11 you see on your gear. I know I just said Ascension level there like I know what I'm talking about, but I assure you in the beginning I had no clue. When I checked out the gear, it says use Essence to upgrade equipment for Ascension, and that is literally all it tells you. So I had a look. Yes, they have removed the Rune Reforge, but you can now recycle your runes for souls. And yeah, so I feel like we really missed a place where we really need a tutorial. Because what's happening? What changed? We look at Ascension, and it has a rune pouch. What is that about? It's confusing. But we select a piece of gear and the menu will change, and you can see over here what it currently is and what we can upgrade it to. And obviously in these 4 boxes we need some kind of material, and it has a success rate, and on failure your Ascension level is decreased by 1. So I kind of had no clue what was happening, and I went and explored, and I found this bow that I do want to level up, and then it turns out you can't level it up without the Ascension being the right thing, which is confusing. And what does that mean, especially at this point since I didn't even know what Ascension meant? But I went and checked it out, and I realized that if you have 2 pieces of the same gear with similar things, they're very hard to tell them apart, which I don't like. I feel like I am definitely going to make the mistake of upgrading the wrong thing. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll give this a try, and I put this here, and you can see it gives me 9.89% chance, and this is not enough. I think it needs to be high. And then I realized blood gems. It's gonna cost blood gems to upgrade things. I realized I was gonna need a lot more material, So I went and I played a little bit, and then I came back when I had some, and I worked on leveling up this chest that Forest Chick has been wearing. I managed to level it 5 times, which gave it a +5, which made me realize finally that this is Ascension level. It gives bonuses to HP or damage, or both depending on the item. It has an increasing cost, and while these levels that I did were free, I do believe that when they start getting rarity, they're going to start costing blood gems. Also, you only have 4 slots to put in for the success rate, and so I do believe that these will level just like runes, because I didn't figure this out while I was actually playing, but afterwards when I went back and I went to mess around with my runes, I realized that these show up in the rune upgrade tab now, and if you click on one it puts 3 into the rune upgrade. So I believe it works just like runes, where you can upgrade 3 level 1s to a level 2 or 3 level 2s to a level 3, etc. So at +6 you get your first rarity color, which is uncommon, and this also will give you the unlock for your first bonus gear. So how I mentioned that level 1 things didn't have any bonuses, this is how you get those. And that means that your Ascension level unlocks your bonuses, I believe. So uncommon unlocks your first one, rare unlocks your second at +11, epic unlocks your third at +16, and then legendary unlocks your fourth at +26, I believe, which sounds a little bit painful to me. That's a lot of unlocking just to find out what bonuses you get, and then you might be like, oh, actually I didn't get any good bonuses. I mean, so you would want at least 1 good bonus, wouldn't you, before you start unlocking things? But with level 1 gear, you don't have those bonuses. If it's a normal piece, obviously if it's a legendary piece, are they unlocked? I'm not actually sure. That's one thing to check. So yeah, I'm not sure about this. I feel like you could put a lot of effort into leveling up a piece that's completely useless and then be annoyed about it. I would be annoyed about it. I'd want to know, like, what bonuses does it have before I put in all this effort, because it does feel like it's going to be a lot of effort. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. So one of the big changes is the map, and as you can see, this is the new area. It's not unlocked for me yet. I'm here on Initiate, and you can see they turned the Initiate levels or the difficulty levels into a banner here, and I think between that banner and the banner for your area, like, there's not a lot of space for you to look at. They also added this token, and when you click on a new area, which you'll see me do in a moment, it moves the token to that place, and it's an animation and it takes time, and I'm not sure it's necessary. Yeah, anyway, they also took away the 7 difficulties for each area, and now there are only 5. I'm not sure that was necessary even. It does feel a little bit like they took away those levels and then gave it to you as this extra island. We explored a little bit further, and I realized that they have completely moved everything onto this one island, everything that you'd cleared previously, and now things are in chapters. So the new area is chapter 3, this part is chapter 2, and at the beginning of this island part is chapter 1. I really don't like the animation for clicking, but I'm going to try and ignore it. So I don't know, I feel like they crowded everything here. What happened to our other area? It's still up there. Now the map is like condensed into these 2 little islands, and I'm not sure that was necessary. Although, in saying that, the order of the places, when you click through them now, it makes so much more sense. It's all a straight line from start to end. Krakenfrost is now the last area in that place, and that makes sense because it has a big boss. Before it was like stuck somewhere in the middle, but there was like 2 directions for you to go, and so you ended up doing it somewhere in the middle. In chapter 1 and chapter 2, I'm able to switch to Dreadborn, which is the highest difficulty tier, but on the new island I am stuck on Initiate. That means I need to complete one of each of these to unlock Wanderer, and so on and so on. So while you watch me play, let me quickly tell you about some of the new areas. The very first one is called Ashen Gate, and it is completed for me. Although I checked and I've never done a place called Ashen Gate. I thought maybe they took Ashen and changed its name, or Weeping Gate and changed its name. But no, those are both still on the map. The first undone area is Echoing Ruins. I jumped in and I was like, this reminds me a lot of that place that gave me trauma when I was on Forest Chick with the spawn of exploding bomb chicks on the stairs, and it just has less treasure chests. And the spawn, the trap on the stairs, does not have exploding bomb chicks. So I thought, maybe I'm wrong. Then I went into the next place, and it looked very familiar. And I was like, this is the place with the Nomad Elite. And guess what? The Nomad Elite is here. I feel like it had less spawns, but still spawns in the same places. I think less exploded chicks, but it's still happening. And then I was like, okay, well, that's a bit strange. But, you know, maybe I was wrong. And so I went into the next area called Blighted Field. And I would recognize my second most favorite area. Anyway, it is this. This is Frostveil Pass. Why would you call a place that looks like a crypt or a temple Blighted Field? Also, it is exactly Frostveil Pass. The whole map is the same. There seems to be slightly less mobs than in Frostveil Pass, but it still has the same gesture at the end. So it's official. They have taken maps from other places and just put them here with new names. I was already a bit like, wow, everything seems the same except for Frostveil Pass and Krakenfrost, and so this is really disappointing. When I kill the Jester, you'll see a flower spawn. This is part of the new Willpower mechanic, where you can spend Willpower to get bonus loot, which the game does briefly describe when you kill your first elite. So the flower, the orb-looking thing, and the bottle are Willpower. The flower one, which is probably the weakest one, replenishes over time. It costs 20 flowers to do the bonus loot from the flower at the end of when you kill the elite. I don't know about the other two. It does say using a bottle gives you 3 times the reward. I wonder if this is a soft way to cap play time, but also pressure to make people play other characters, because each character has their own set of willpower, and if it's sitting at max, it's kind of waste. But also, eventually you're gonna run out. So I've talked about the map update. For the game stat system, you might have logged in and noticed your HP changed, or the HP or damage on items changed, and that would be part of that. I've shown you the upgrade and enhancement system. I've talked about willpower. For character leveling system, I have no idea. For enemy aggro system, I didn't notice too much, but I feel like maybe that's why I felt like mobs were sparser in the new area, because they didn't all come at you at once. As for the option to lock your joystick position, that might be great if you play on mobile, but I don't, so I didn't notice anything. And they have added 11 more languages, so more people from around the world can play. So just for first impressions, the good stuff was new stuff. New stuff is generally always cool. New stuff to complete gives you a nice little dopamine loop and fresh first clear gems. We love those gems. Murder tourism is back. Going in at low level and doing clears on Bailey felt great. There was no constant panic. There was only a couple of occasions where I came close to dying because I didn't drink a health pot, but basically I could just hold down the punch button and win. The map order reads better. Krakenfrost as the last area makes sense. The meh stuff is more like the Ascension number placement on the icons. It makes them feel very cluttered and it breaks the art. I think it could be tucked somewhere more subtly, maybe opposite the item level. Map reuse under new names is a bummer. We already felt like the sameness was happening and now it's literally copy and paste. Willpower risks feeling like a soft stamina thing. If you play too much, there's pressure not to waste your refills. If you play too little, you have a full bar guilt. Probably nudges multi-character play for farming, maybe. Onboarding is thin. The Ascension, Essence, success rates, downgrade risk, level Ascension relationship. It took an hour and prior knowledge to figure it out. New players will struggle so bad with this. 2 difficulty tiers were removed from 7 and 6, and it feels like those tiers were just pulled and returned as a new island. If you'd nearly finished all clears of all difficulties before, you now get bonus gem economy, but it feels a bit weird. I think, it took me to understand the 80 out of 10 on levels for the gear. Like the 80 is the level of the gear and the 10 is the Ascension, and it caps, and it's a bit confusing. Bonuses are unlocked with rarity gates. We figured that out, but it took a while. Elites drop flowers and you can spend willpower on the flower for more rewards, but is it worth it to spend blood gems? I don't know. Runes can be recycled for souls and the Reforge is gone. I am not sure about leveling gear for souls because of the lock from the rarity, meaning I couldn't level any gear. So I kind of wish there was an Ascension tutorial of some kind that was more than one line of text. It's a lot of changes. There are a lot of things in this game that can be confusing, and this is one of them. And if it took me a little while to figure out, like, imagine a new player showing up tomorrow to play and like there's so much. I think the UI really could use a pass, especially for the banners on the map. More white space is okay. There's a lot happening and that can be overwhelming and unnecessarily so. And I think there needs to be a willpower tooltip and maybe some kind of bank so it doesn't feel wasted, especially if there's a character you have but you're not playing her. Then yeah, all of her willpower is wasted, kind of. Anyway, that is my first look at the new update. I'll see you in the next video.